Massey.
It's a weekend night. I'm doing what I always do. Yeah, turn the traffic light, you're driving me out of my mind.
All right. Hey, everybody, I'm Chris Massey, and welcome to the Chris Massey Show here on the American Hearts Radio Network. We're coming to you live tonight from our studio here in downtown Atlanta. Now, tonight I want to address a certain group of people in Atlanta, and I'm talking about those people in the age group from 35 to 60 that are single and divorced. Now, I'm about to say something that you guys already know. Dating is tough. Let me tell you, in 2004, I was a 41-year-old divorced man living in Atlanta, and I was shocked by how many divorced people there are in this city. I mean, let me tell you, there's a bunch, man. So I moved into this high-rise apartment in Buckhead, and my first day there, a woman gets on the elevator with me, and she says, "You're new, aren't you?" I said, "That's right." She goes, "How long have you been divorced?" I said, "What makes you think I've been divorced?" She goes, "Everybody in this building is divorced." And boy, was she right about that. Now, in 2004, dating was just starting to become a business in Atlanta. Companies like Match.com and eHarmony.com were just beginning to get off the ground. They even had this thing called speed dating where you could go and actually meet women and women could meet men. That was kind of a cool thing. Now, being the free spirit I am, I tried them all. I had some good experiences and met some nice ladies. But I had some experiences that weren't so good. Like the time I drove 40 miles outside of Atlanta to meet this lady I'd met on Match.com. She came to the door and I was pleasantly surprised. She was prettier than her picture. Well, I went in her living room to sit down and I looked over in the corner and over there was a fully decorated, fully lit Christmas tree. Now, a lot of you are saying, "Chris, what's wrong with that?" I'll tell you what was wrong with it. It was the middle of July. That's what's wrong with it. So I asked her about it. She said, "Well, I just like Christmas and hadn't had time to take it down." Later that night, I found up that tree had been up for 6.5 years. 6.5 years. If you're dating somebody that can't get their Christmas tree down in 6 years, they're probably ignoring some other issues. This other woman I was having lunch with just informed me that she had fired her maid because she didn't iron the sheets when she made the bed. And she was taking her ex-husband back to court because the $10,000 in alimony he was paying just wasn't cutting it. Well, she found out later that I actually owned some clothes from Old Navy, and that was kind of the end of that deal. I went out with an Asian woman once. She'd only been in the car about 10 minutes. She said, "Could you see yourself marrying me?" I said, "I don't know." She goes, "Listen, it's a yes or no question." I said, "Honey, I don't even know where we're going to go to dinner yet. You need to relax." Well, by the end of the night, I couldn't give her an answer. Never saw her again either. Then there was the time a buddy of mine set me up with a Hispanic woman from Colombia. She was a really nice lady. I picked her up pretty too. And we went out to dinner and everything was going good, but there was one problem. She couldn't speak a word of English. I mean, not a word. And this woman talked all night long. Every now and then I'd nod my head like that. She'd just bust out laughing. She was having a good old time. What about? I have no idea. Come to find out later, really didn't matter that she couldn't speak English or that I couldn't speak Spanish, if you know what I mean. Let me tell you, that phrase, hot tamale, it ain't got nothing to do with food. Now, this other woman gets in the car and she goes, "I am tired of going out with guys who all they think about is sex." Well, I ended up taking her home early and told her she might want to look about getting a cat. Then there's the one that's a really big one for me. A woman tells me she's been married and divorced 8 times. 8 times. She said, "You think that's a lot, don't you?" I said, "Honey, I don't own 8 pairs of shoes, and you've had 8 husbands. You're damn right it's a lot." Now, the point I'm trying to make is this. Look, I'm not saying that women are the only wackos out there in the dating field. I'm sure I could bring the gals on here, and they could talk for days about the nightmare dates they've had with the guys. But if you're out there tonight and you got somebody that loves you and you love them, just remember how fortunate you are. Remember, marriage and relationships, it's about putting up with somebody else's inadequacies and your own. I heard a counselor say that one time. It sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, by 2007, my journey got me to the front door of the woman that would become my wife and the lady I'm married to today. Now, I know I'm lucky. Hell, she tells me every single day that I am. About 3 months ago, believe it or not, I ran into that woman with the Christmas tree, and I'm happy to say that she met somebody that's happily married. Well, I couldn't resist. I had to ask about that tree, and it's still up. 16.5 years this Christmas tree has been up. Just goes to show. For every nut out there, There's a bolt that fits. We got a good show for you tonight. A great show, in fact. David Michelson, former drummer of the Georgia Satellites, is here. I got Stephen Skipper, the singer of the Jagged Stones, and, of course, Rachel Jordan will be joining us later on as well. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a great night out? Are you in the Atlanta, Georgia area? Are you looking to check out some live, awesome music during the week? They have keynote, poker tournaments, horseshoes, and special events. It's all at the Moon Shadow Tavern. That's at 3976 Lawrenceville Highway in Tucker, Georgia. That's the Moon Shadow Tavern. Give them a call, 770-674-2133. Check out their selection of great food, friendly service. Visit their website at msttucker.com. That's www.msttucker.com. Moon Shadow Tavern is a proud sponsor of the Chris Massey Web TV music show on www.americanheartsradio.com. Make sure you told them that American Hearts Radio sent you. Visit their website, check out their great selection of food, appetizers, wings, burgers, sandwiches and wraps, steaks and chicken, salads and sides. Also their drink specials. Live music during the week. Check them out. Give them a call, 770-674-2133.
Hey, we're back. Now, I'd also like to mention, speaking of the Moon Shadow Tavern, they're running a special down there at the Moon Shadow now where you can get 5 appetizers for $5 a piece. $25 gets you 5 appetizers. It's quite a deal. And hell, it's a meal in itself. So go down there to the Moon Shadow Saloon and see Ron. Tell him Chris Massey from the Chris Massey Show sent you, and he'll get you taken care of. My next guest has been around the Atlanta music scene for a long, long time. He's played with bands like the Georgia Satellites, the Vidalias, the Latin Teens, which featured the great Tinsley Ellis, and he currently is beating the toms for a group called the Rain Man. Would you please welcome my good friend, Mr. David Michelson. Hey, Dave, come on in. Have yourself a seat. All right, man. You doing all right tonight? All right. Okay. Now, David, the first time, and I met you that night, and I'm sure you don't remember, but it was about 1981, maybe early 1982, and I was with some friends of mine, and they said, hey, man, Brendan's playing in this new band down at Hedgens, so let's go down there and check it out. And I went down there hoping to see Brendan play guitar, and, of course, he was playing bass, and right. Rick Richards was on guitar, and Dan Baird, and you were playing drums, and it was at Hedgens, and I heard you guys play Keep Your Hands to Yourself that night. And I knew it was a hit the first time I heard it. It took the record people about 6 years before they figured out that it was a hit. Well, that was the first time I met you, and tell us a little bit about what that was like playing with the Satellites back in those days.
Well, it was fun. That's what it was all about, really. We just started out to have some fun. And it was first Keith, Keith Christopher was the bass player.
Right, Keith and the Satellites.
Well, we started out with Keith and Rick and I were just jamming around a little basement rehearsal place I had in Brookhaven just for fun. And then Dan heard, I played with Dan in other bands before that, and so Dan heard about it and he was like, man, I want to come jam with you guys. I went, okay. So he came over. Immediately he had like 20 songs that he knew the words to, but right. NRBQ stuff and all that. We just knocked them out. Rick had all the ones he knew. Keith sang a few. And the next thing, I had one of those yellow legal pads, write that one down, write that one down. I got another one, write that one down. I was going, hey, Rick, how do you know all these songs? I mean, the words to like a million. I mean, seriously.
Right, right.
So we started writing them down, Rock Pile, Dave Evans, Nicola, all this stuff. God, this is pretty cool. We got all these songs we can do. And then something finally, we're going to go, we were just jamming, We weren't like we're starting a band. It was just this jam, But it clicked. We had a chemistry. We knew right away. So finally Dan said, man, I want to come play with you guys. Yeah, come over. We're going to next Tuesday night or whatever. Come over. And so Dan came, and it just clicked. I mean, the sound of his guitar and Rick's guitar was so different that they just blended. And that was sort of the secret ingredient right there. Keith and I had been playing together, just goofing around stuff before. We started out, we used to have these little jams at like 3 or 4 in the morning at his house where he'd pull out his acoustic guitar and I'd just bang on a box or whatever.
Right.
Keith would record everything. He'd pull out, and we listened. I thought, man, this sounds so ridiculous. And then we listened back to it. Damn, that's actually kind of cool. So we had some kind of weird rhythm groove between us. And so we said, well, let's just start playing. And then, so it sort of happened by accident, really. And then one night, Keith calls me up like on a Monday or something. He goes, hey, some band was going to play at the Bistro, like Wednesday night, and something happened. They canceled, and they want to see if maybe we want to come down and do it. So, all right, sure. So we just showed up at the Bistro. Of course, only like 50 people filled it up. I don't know if you guys ever been to the Bistro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's about twice as big as this studio.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it was like a house. They knocked the walls out, you know. But place is packed. Of course, back then everybody was in their 20s. People should go out on weeknights. Yeah, so we played a gig, and it just kind of clicked, and everybody liked it. And they're like, when are y'all going to play again? I don't know. We had no plans. So I talked to my friend Hank Abernathy, who owned Hedgens. Mm-hmm. They'd only been open for a few months, and they just started having bands. I said, Hank, we got this band, and, you know, looking for somewhere to play. So we put us in, and that's kind of how that just boom, you know.
Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know or not old enough to know, listen, I've been around the music scene in Atlanta since about 1979. And, you know, one of the things that you always hear is, you know, you don't want to try to play on weeknights. You know, you don't get good crowds or anything like that. Let me tell you something. The Satellites could play 7 nights a week and pack it out anywhere they played. I mean, it was quite a phenomenon. I mean, I would tell my friends, I'd say, man, I got this band called the Satellites, and 5 of my friends would come, and then the next night y'all played, and they would bring 5 more of their friends, and I mean, and that's just the way it went, man. I mean, it was almost like selling Amway or something, man. It just kept going and going and going, and of course, you know, and then they went on later to have a hit single and everything. Now you played later. You played with Tinsley Ellis in the Latin Teens.
Yeah, Mike Lorenz, the late great Mike Lorenz, guitar player, was in the house band at Blind Willie's for years. Incredible guitar player, singer, and yeah, that was another little side project. Tinsley called me one day. Goes, hey, I've been talking to Mike about doing a little side thing for fun. Would you mention? Of course. And it was like Tinsley, we're not going to do blues. We're going to play rock and roll.
Cool.
Some instrumental stuff. Closest we did to blues was Freddie King instrumentals, like, you know, and the obscure ones, not Hideaway.
Right.
Tinsley knows all these great ones, you know, like In the Open and Sidetracked and Sensation. I went, yeah, man, great. We did a bunch of ventures and stuff. That was another just sort of happened. And I think our first gig was at the, what was it called? The Pub, Little 5 Points.
Little 5 Points Pub.
Was that it? Yeah. Yeah, we played there for a while. And then Margaritaville. Was that, you know, somebody was talking about Margaritaville the other night. It was just a dive down.
It was a good dive, yes it was.
And we would play like, you know, 3 or 4 gigs a month, a year. And that was about it for that band. So
now this Saturday night at the Moonshadow Saloon, July 26th, your band, the Rain Men, are going to be playing, and my band, the Chris Massey Band, we're going to be opening up for the Rain Men. And let me tell you, it is going to be a great show. We're hoping to have a lot of folks out there. So, David, I enjoyed having you on the show, my friend.
Looking forward to it.
I sure do. We'll be right back.
All right.
This is Johnny Van Zandt from Leonard Skinner. You're listening to American Hearts Radio.
Serving Atlanta since 1998, Massey Gutters understands the challenges specific to our area. Massey Gutters is familiar with all aspects of gutters and roofing. We use only the highest quality materials. With our fully trained and professional staff, you are guaranteed to get quality service and work. References available upon request. Call us today for a free estimate, 404-314-6800. Again, that's 404-314-6800. Call Massey Gutters today, 404-314-6800.
I'm Rachel Jordan, and welcome to the Hippy Dippy Classic Album Review. I'm joined by acclaimed rock critic Leon Smoker. Leon, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
All right, good. Tonight we're reviewing the 1980 Columbia record release Loverboy and the Canadian rock band Loverboy. After being rejected by American record companies, Loverboy released their debut album in Canada in March of 1980. The album sold 700,000 copies in Canada. By July, American labels were interested and the album was released. It would sell 2 million copies in the U.S. alone. It had two hits that cracked the Billboard Top 100, The Kid Is Hot Tonight and Turn Me Loose. Today, the band is still out there touring. Now look, Leon, I know you don't like this band.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I said I hate them and they make me want to puke.
Remember what Michael Loyer said?
I know, favorable and professional reviews.
Okay, so Leon, what is your take on the Loverboy album?
This band sucks.
Damn it, Leon, you've got 5 seconds to do this review like you're supposed to. 5, 4, 3...
Okay, for crying out loud. Alright, there are basically two components to this band. Singer Mike Reno and guitarist Paul Dean. Now, Paul Dean is not related to Paula Dean, but if you've seen Mike Reno in recent years, you might think that he's been spending a lot of time at Paul Dean's restaurant, if you know what I'm saying. He always wore this stupid headband around his head that made him look like an extra on that Olivia Newton-John video, Let's Get Physical, you know? Well, look, Mike Reno is a talented singer. You can't deny that. But let's face it, man, even a chef can't make liver taste good. Listen to some of these lyrics. Everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody wants a new romance. Everybody's going off the deep end. Everybody needs a second chance. You want a piece of my heart? You got to start from the start. Well, where the hell else would you start? At the end? In the middle? I'm here to please. I'm even on my knees, making love to whoever I please. I got to do it my way. See anybody buying this crap? Let me tell you, man, even in their prime, if these guys were on their knees, they were either praying, throwing up, or they were begging somebody to make love with them. I mean, who the hell they think they are? Duran Duran? You know, one night I was in a bar and I saw these two guys get in a fight over who was better, Loverboy or Journey. You know Journey. They're one of those commercial crybaby wet panty bands from San Francisco, corporate rock. Well, anyway, the bouncer came over to break it up and he joined in on the conversation. Turns out he was a Motorhead fan, man. He beat the living shit out of both of them. Now, last time I was on this show, I said that there was not a Loverboy tribute band in America. Well, I stand to be corrected. There is actually one, and it's called Working for the Weekend. On their website, it says they're the greatest Loverboy tribute band in the world, which is true, because they're the only Loverboy tribute band in the world. You know, that's kind of like being the coolest of the uncool, or maybe the third tallest guy in Japan. Well, anyway, that's all I can talk about this band, man. I'm about to spew all over the set right now. So, you mad at me?
No, Leon, I'm not mad at you. You're right. This band sucks. Take us out.
All right. You finally agree with me. I'm digging that. Join us next time on the Hippy Dippy Classic Album Review when we will be discussing the rumor that Jacksonville High School gym coach Leonard Skinner was actually one time a member of the Allman Brothers. Until then, I'm Leon Smoker.
And I'm Rachel Jordan.
See you next time.
The Brickyard. Come visit the Brickyard. Best food in Green Cove Springs at 414 Walnut Street, Green Cove Springs, Florida. Give them a call, 904-228-3371 at 414 Walnut Street, Green Cove Springs, Florida. 904-228-3371.
All right, we're back. I'm telling you, Leon Smoker, I got a lot of Loverboy CDs I'm going to have to get rid of now. All right. For being a guest on the Chris Massey Show, my guests David Michelson and Stephen Skipper will receive a case of turtle wax and a 6-month supply of Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. Just see Ray, the security guard, down in the lobby when you leave, and he will get you your door prizes. My next guest is the front man from one of the best tribute bands going on in Atlanta right now. They play big shows, are in high demand everywhere. Would you please welcome the lead singer of the Jagged Stones, Mr. Stephen Skipper. Hey, man, come on in. Come on in. All right. Well, like I told you before, Stephen, I met you. I was just a skinny high school kid. Way back in 1980 when you were blowing sax for the Samurai Catfish. I got to talk to you for a little while that night. And, you know, your story is an awful lot like mine. You know, I got divorced in 1990. I mean, I divorced in 2004, and I've been married 14 years. And during that time, I really didn't do anything with music. And then I picked it up, and I've been doing it now for about 10 years. And hell, man, I enjoy it more now than I ever have. So tell us how you got back into it and how the Jagged Stones came about.
Well, after the divorce, I got out and started singing, started sitting in with some bands. And one night a guitar player said, hey, we need to start a Stones band. And so he knew a place where we could hold auditions. And so I held auditions, and I got lucky, and I got some good players together. And we put the band together. And then we had an audition like at the Strand Theater on the Meredith Square.
Right.
And they liked us. We were totally blown away. And so been playing ever since.
Now, you came back the second time y'all played the Strand Theater, you sold it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
I mean, I got to tell you, that's quite an accomplishment for a local band to do something like that.
Well, I was thrilled. You know, I am from Marietta, Georgia originally, and that's where the Strand Theater is. So
Right.
it was good. I had a lot of friends and family there, and it was just it's incredible. What a venue to play.
Oh, I'm sure.
We played there the last 2 New Year's Eves.
Okay.
So that was kind of nice.
So how many Stone songs do you guys know?
Oh, probably about 45, I guess.
45.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you go all the way from do you do anything as early as like some of the cover stuff they did off the first record, all the way up to Tattoo You, or do you go past that? Or
Yeah, actually, we kind of go up to about Tattoo You.
yeah, that's where, to me, that's where the good stuff kind of ended. You know, I
For
think,
me too.
I think they've just been being the Rolling Stones ever since. And now they did have one good song out. They did a video of the one where Mick Jagger was a giant in the middle of the city or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of the tune was, but that one was pretty good. But really, Tattoo You is when the hits quit coming.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of had a letdown in the 80s, I think, when Mick and Keith were fighting.
Right.
I liked Voodoo Lounge. You know, I saw
Right.
them on that tour. That was a good concert. But yeah, we start way back with like Little Queenie.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
And just bring it through just about every album from there up to Tattoo You.
Okay.
So.
We in my band, sometimes we do Route 66 off that first record.
Oh, yeah.
And we
Great
do that.
song.
Now, you were telling me that you've actually got 2 versions of the Jagged Stones. You got like a 60s version. It's really stripped down. And then you got a version with horns and backup singers and the whole 9 yards. Is that
That's right? More like the Exile off Main Street band. You
Okay.
know? So depending on the venue, you know.
And the money?
And the money. If they want a 6-piece or the full 12-piece band, you
Right.
know, has the horns, has the background singers, has percussionists.
Okay.
You know, so that's a lot of fun with the horns.
Now, tell me this. Tell me about how you guys got a gig at the Village Hotel in Las Vegas, and
Wow.
you guys went out there and actually played there. I mean, that had to be a big thrill. Tell me about that.
That was a really big thrill. We have a friend, Quasi Boudreaux. Quasi, if you're out there, hey man, we owe you. So, and it was a corporate gig, and got to stay out there. Like they put us up for like I think it was 3 nights.
Wow.
Flew us out, flew us back.
Oh, man, the
And
rock star treatment, man.
It was nice, you know, like only 2 45-minute sets instead of 4
Right.
hours. Because you know how it is being a singer yourself.
Right.
It
can wear on you.
It can wear on you after a while, you know. And so that was a great trip. Yeah, it was a thrill. I'd been out there once before in the 80s, but it'd been a long time. And
So I imagine the place was packed.
yeah, there were probably maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people in the room.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was nice.
You know, that's what we all dream about having every night right there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's really cool. So you were telling me now that right now you're making some personnel changes and you guys are kind of in an influx. And I know how that is because a year ago when I came off the tour of the East Coast that we did in 2013, we replaced our guitar player and our drummer, and it kind of set us back, for about a month or 2 before we were able to get things rolling again.
Right. Well, we had a guitar player who quit the band, and then so I've actually got a new guitar player.
Right.
And believe it or not, she is fantastic. She is the Keith Richards, and she plays it lick for lick.
I was watching a video of you the other day with her on there when you guys were doing Gimme Shelter at that place, and she does, man. She's got that open tuning going and really got it happening. Yeah.
She sure does. She's a wonderful lady, and I just have a really great band. I'm very fortunate. all of them are just great musicians. So.
Well, when having a good band, I know the guys that play with me. I'm grateful I have them up there every night because, you need a good band.
You have an old friend of mine in your band.
That's
Mark
right,
Krause.
Mr. Mark Krause, if you're watching out there tonight.
Hey, Mark.
And if you're not doing nothing Saturday night, come on out to the Moon Shadow.
Mark try and do that.
Mark will be beating the drums with us out there. He sure will. Well, Stephen, it was great to have you.
Well, a pleasure being here.
Look forward to maybe
Chris.
playing with you guys one of these days.
All
right. Thank you, Stephen. We'll be right back.
Hey there, varmints. That's right. Buck off Mondays. That's right, Mondays. Come on in and go buck yourself. That's right. If you go anywhere else, you're going to get screwed. That's right. Come on down to the Moon Shadow Tavern, 3976 Lawrenceville Highway, Tucker, Georgia, 30084. I just figured I'd give you the zip code. Well, here's the phone number, 770-674-2133. That's right. Buck off Mondays, baby. Go buck yourself. I like you.
All right, another show is come and gone. Rachel, we did this 2 nights in a row. You probably had enough of me for 2 nights, haven't you? Probably so.
Just a little bit.
Well, tonight, to end the show, we're going to do a little celebrating up here. And what we're going to celebrate is that starting in January, my sidekick here, Rachel Jordan, is going to have her own show on the American Hearts Radio Network starting in January called College Talk. She's going to be on here talking to college students and people that are employees at the college and all that stuff. So you're pretty excited about that?
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I hear you might be looking for somebody to help you write the show. Is that right?
Yes, I can use someone to help me write it.
I got a pretty good idea who that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I heard he wears a black cowboy hat.
Yeah,
Is that right?
That's the rumor anyway.
All right. We'll be back in August. I don't have the lineup set. I do know that we have Andy Brown from the Night Porters who's going to be here on August 18th. We'll have another guest as well, plus another show on August 26th. So remember, always love your woman, take life as it comes, and when you get the chance, have too much fun. We'll see you next time.